But before all that, we're going to be finding out about an organisation in Rochdale that is helping children in Bangladesh to help get some toys, something we all take for granted. So to tell us more about that appeal, I'm delighted to introduce Noorul Choudhury, who's the Rochdale Bangladeshi Partnership Project, and Farooq Ahmed, who's a Labour councillor in Rochdale. So thank you both for joining us this morning.
Thank you.
Now, first of all, as I say, toys is something that we all take for granted, and that's something that the appeal really is focusing on. But before that, could you just tell us a little bit more about the Bangladesh Partnership Project?
Do you want to start?
I could start that off.
Yeah, please do.
Last year in March, we went over to Bangladesh, and it was just a visit to see what's out there, and see a third world country, and have a bit of an experience. So we took our current mayor, Councillor, Mayor Keith Swift, and it was interesting. We went to various colleges, and went to this particular hospital, and I've got a sick child at home. He's got heart problems, and I regularly I go to Children's Hospital, Alder Hey in Liverpool, and also Children's Hospital in Manchester. And when you walk into a children's ward, you walk in, you see cartoon characters on the walls, you see pictures, and you see there's a play area, where there's toys there, and
so it feels less of a hospital.
And as soon as my son walks into the ward, he knows where the play area is, and he's straight in there.
Which is very important for children, isn't it? To feel familiar and relaxed.
Yeah,
it is. I train in a medical background, and it's a known fact that their motor skills and their cognitive skills are, children will learn and develop a lot of their social skills through learning and imagination. And having especially in an environment, hospital, it's also, children feel better and get better quicker in an environment where they feel it's clean, it's healthy, and it's a playful environment, where they can interact with other sick child. And with your experience, you found that their isolation, because they're literally confined to their own bed space, and there's no interaction, communication with other children there. They found that a quite miserable environment.
Well, that's it. When you went into the hospital, you found that there was in fact nothing like that at all. It was abandoned of toys.
It looked like something out of a movie where in the Second World War, on a hospital bed there, you see the sick child on the bed on a single rough mattress, with the mother beside, and that's it. And
from the photographs that I see, my initial sort of reaction was it looked like an orphanage in sort of Romania. And
so
that's
quite a sad environment for a child to be in, as well as being sick.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so obviously this angered you possibly, and made you want to do a difference.
I won't say anger, but I've just looked and I thought,
sad.
You're sad, and thinking there's something we could do, and then it just something at the time there, just immediately. So look, there's a lot of people with toys, families and parents, where the kids have grown out of their toys, and they're perfectly good toys. We're not asking for new toys.
You often don't know what to do. Once your children have grown up and grown out of them, unless you've other family members to kind of pass them on to. It is a bit of a what should we do with these now? You'll keep one or two for posterity.
Sometimes it's nice to cling on to toys. I still got toys from when I was
sentimental.
It's nice to do. You're hoping one day you might sell it and get a reward.
I've still got my yellow rubber duck anyway. So it just reminds me, because I used to when I was young, used to draw this little rubber duck, because I used to think, this is my pet, and I still got it.
Well, it's a comfort thing, isn't it? These toys sometimes can bring a lot of comfort, and I'm sure that's something that the children desperately need in a time when they're not well and they can feel quite isolated and alone. And it's such a shame that something our society takes so much for granted. We're in a very disposable culture, throwing away our toys quite thoughtlessly, and these children really can benefit, can't they?
You can say we're recycling toys, and we talk about environmentally being friendly. Let's recycle toys. Let's make this toy, a value to someone else a lot more.
So listen. Tell us what you've done so far. How far you've gone, and what we can do to help.
At the moment, we've been approaching various schools. The local authority, Rochdale Council, have been very supportive, and people have been generally supportive all around. And we've got toys, flooding in. We've got a couple of haulage companies which are willing to get these toys delivered to the destination free of charge. So local businesses have been very supportive as well, so we just want to get the message out, and if there's people out there, if they could support us on this. And we're not asking for just like teddy bears or even books, colouring stuff, anything, you know,
Anything
anything
that would bring some
I think
yeah,
what's
brings
also
some-
important to keep in mind is that for health and safety reasons, that there are certain things that we may not accept. Things that may have that sort of loose beads or needles or anything that depicts violence, like guns and swords.
Yes.
We're not particularly.
But possibly,
wanting.
if people at home want to get involved and they're a bit apprehensive about what they can give,
Yeah.
then essentially you guys will be able to
That's-
differentiate
yeah,
what's
yeah,
sense
yeah,
and what's
yeah,
not.
yeah,
So
that's
they
true.
don't have to worry too much, because
No.
you'll make sure that what goes to those children is what's needed for those children.
You've set up a website as well, so let's have a first plug of that straight away, because that, of course, is the focal point where people can get involved.
Yeah, I mean, the website's got all the information there,
Great.
all the contact details, and all the places where you could drop off these toys. And there's quite a few different venues where you could drop it off. But it's all on the website anyway, so it's, let me get it right,
Yeah.
Go on.
www.rbpp.org.uk.
Okay, all right.
That'll actually be on our website as
Oh,
well, so
brilliant,
anybody at home who's missed that address, they can log on to the Shine website and they'll be able to get all that information.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
there's also a number that you can call as well if you want to make a donation. Listen, you've started with this one hospital. Is the plan to take that further and further out as well as the campaign grows momentum?
Yeah, I think so.
What it's keen to point out that the RBPP has also links with a place in Pakistan. We've got partnership links in Latvia, Ukraine, in Tourcoing in France, Pine in Germany. So we're hoping to eventually roll something out equivalent to that. Maybe not as similar, but other charities that we could get involved with as well.
Brilliant. Now, we've concentrated a lot on the comfort toys bring, but actually, when you're in hospital, the main purpose of being there is to get better, and having a playful environment can benefit that, can't it? Can accelerate it.
It can, and like I said, there's statistics that show that people get better in a sort of healthy, friendly environment. But it also allows them to interact with other sick children there as well, because sometimes you find that the older children will more likely to get into fights with being bored, and it's nothing there to do. Whereas having toys is something that they can share as well, and it's all about the learning experience, being interactive, being imaginative with toys as well.
Well, it's a growth, isn't it, as well?
It is.
Playing is essentially one of the fundamental ways we learn when we're so young. So, like you say, if you're stopping boredom and preventing that frustration, then it's just creating a more positive environment, isn't it?
Absolutely.
So no toy too small or too big, really. Even to the bigger toys.
Even
that
the big ones that you can win at the fun fair, these dinosaurs
fantastic.
and
would
things
bring
you
a
can get.
smile. And
I've had someone dropping off this big thing with like wooden beads in there.
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
and
Oh,
it's-
yeah.
You know, you find that
One
at
of the
hospitals
frames,
as a
yeah.
frame.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he was a doctor. He says, I've got this in my surgery, but you could have it, you know. And I thought, what is this big box thing? And I opened it up, and it's this another box in a box, and with all these things sticking out. And I thought that'd be really great, you know, in a
Yeah.
waiting room or in the hospital. So
just as an aside, when you were in the hospitals in Bangladesh, how were the conditions? Were they what you expected, or were they relatively primitive to what we would expect in the UK
It's-
generally?
I mean, we walked in there and we thought, right, it's not going to be like the UK hospitals,
Yes.
and which it wasn't. It was clean, but the equipment, like you said, it's old equipment, so it's second-hand equipment, or you know, and you could tell some of the equipment dates back, going back, you know, 50 years for some of it, and some of the beds are just, you know, you can see it's a bit rusty, and you know, the
Yeah.
paints, you know,
Yeah.
and the wheels, you know, I was thinking, this can't be right, you know.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I mean the stories. You said it was clean. I think what it means about it was the standards isn't as great as you would get in the NHS in England.
Yeah.
And, you know, and it's what's clean to them might look slightly impoverished and unclean for us.
Well, I think it just really shows the contrast, doesn't it, between what we take for granted and there's something we can now do about that with toys. Now, we at Shine obviously have been very inspired by this, and we want to help as much as we can. So we're delighted to donate from behalf of the people at Shine some toys for your campaign. You can see there, you can see it on the monitor there.
Yeah,
We've
little
got
selection
some
of things.
games. We've got Lego, which is always a bit of a classic. Some games for them to play. So, like you mentioned there, to interact is very important with other members and other children there. And a spinning top, which is a bit of an old school classic, isn't it? So
It's great though. It's one that makes a great humming noise.
Fantastic.
brilliant.
Thank you, appreciate that. Really
Thank you
much.
you're very, very welcome.
Now listen, if you're at home and you think you can help right now, if you have some toys that maybe you don't have a use for anymore, or get together with friends and family and get a collection of toys together that can help the appeal, please do get onto the website to find out more. It's rbpp.org.uk. I'll make sure all of the details are on our blog, on our website, so as soon as we come off air, the details of the appeal will be on our own website at shine-tv.co.uk. There's also a telephone number there to ring as well, which I'll make sure is on our website.
Brilliant. Well, thank you very much for joining us this morning, gentlemen. It's been very inspiring, and hopefully everyone at home will want to get involved. So thank you
Thank you very much.